What's up, everyone? This is Weston with the Travel Trail. Got another video for you today. Today I'm going to be talking about my plan to finish the 57 ultra prominent peaks in the lower 48 and kind of everything that's going to entail, timelines, and kind of like each mountain, how hard it's going to be. I've already done a few videos on this particular list of peaks that I've been working on. Talked about ranking all of them by difficulty, ranking my top five with how cool they are, what got me into it. So this should be a fun one. To start out, so I've already climbed 41 out of the 57. I believe I climbed my first one in 2018, Mount Timpanogos. So I've been doing this for about 5 years and have managed to tick off 41 out of the 57. Got 16 left. So my goal is to finish in 2025. Basically got 2 years left. It's November of 2023 today. So got 2 years left to finish all 16 remaining. And most of the 16 are pretty freaking hard. So it's going to be pushing it. I'll be stoked if I can finish in 2025. It might take me another year or two or even three with how hard some of these are going to be. So, yeah, to start off, today it's November 20th. Got Thanksgiving coming up. I am planning on going down to New Mexico to do Sierra Blanca Peak sometime around Thanksgiving weekend. Still need to tell my wife about that, but hopefully I can get down there. It's the hardest part about that one is just going to be the drive. It's like a 12-hour drive. So just finding the time to go do it. Once I'm down there, it should be pretty easy. It's not too hard of a peak, pretty straightforward. Just need some good weather and need my car not to break down and should be a piece of cake. But yeah, hopefully this weekend on that one. If not this weekend, then hopefully next weekend. I'm kind of running out of time. If I'm going to do that one this year, I need to get down in the next few weekends and do it before it really starts snowing a lot. It's actually kind of a miracle that it hasn't snowed down there yet, but going to try to get it done. So after that one, there's three down in Arizona: Mount Graham, Chiricahua Peak, and Miller Peak. They're all kind of right close to each other in a clump by Tucson. I hopefully will be able to do all of those in one trip when I go down there in December, December 17th ish, going down to an NFL game with my dad. And so I'm like, hey, might as well just tick off a few peaks while I'm there. I keep saying tick off a peak. It sounds like I'm trying to make the peak mad or something. Bag a peak, that's the proper terminology. But yeah, 2024. So that'll finish out 2023. Sierra Blanca, New Mexico, and then Graham, Chiricahua, Miller Peak down in Arizona. That will put me at 45 out of 57. And then in 2024, this will be a big year. Mount Baker, that's the first one that I would hope to do sometime in late May or early June. That's perfect volcano season, especially on a glaciated peak like Mount Baker. Don't want to wait too long, or the snow bridges on the glaciers will get more thin and risky. But if you do it too early, like April, you might just have terrible weather. So that is the plan with Mount Baker. And then next, let's see. So Cloud Peak in Wyoming, that would be the next one. And some of these are kind of interchangeable. Like right now, I have Cloud Peak, but I could swap it with one of the other ones and it'd be fine. That's slated for late June, potentially early July, depending on the snowpack situation. And then Gannett Peak will be in late July. We tried to do that one this last year. Well, we tried to do it. We had it planned for a day in August and it didn't work out. The weather was just terrible. And then we couldn't kind of align all of our schedules. to go and do it another time. It's just kind of too late. Waited too long. So hopefully by planning late July, if we have to wait in a month or so for weather, we can. So that'll be Gannett Peak. That one is going to be tough. It's like a 50 miler almost, and all the vert you can imagine, crampons, ice axe, everything, the whole 9 yards. And then after that one, so that's late July, early August, I would love to go do Mount Stewart in Washington. That one I'm really looking forward to. That just sounds like the perfect difficulty to risk ratio. Like, I don't think it's one that I'll be scared of dying on, but it'll be really cool with some exposure, really hard, good challenge, really good payoff. Excited for that one. Mount Stewart. Next would be Snowshoe Peak up in Montana. Shouldn't be too hard. I will be scared of bears, that's for sure. Definitely not going to do that one alone. But yeah, that one probably the hardest part will be getting someone to go up there with me and then driving all the way up there. Once we're to the trailhead, it shouldn't be too difficult. It's definitely not a gimme, but yeah, that one's not going to be quite as difficult as some of these other ones. Then let's see, we got Cloud, we got Gannett, Snowshoe. So that one would be late August, and then sometime mid-September, maybe late September, I would go and do Crazy Peak in Montana. And again, I could swap that one with Snowshoe Peak and just swap the time periods, but Crazy Peak, similar difficulty to Snowshoe Peak, shouldn't be too hard. Definitely going to be a challenge compared to most of the peaks on this list, but not one that I'm going to lose sleep over planning for that one. That one should be just a great time. And then after Crazy Peak, we will do Mount Washington out east. That one I'm actually really looking forward to, and the timing is important for that one. I don't want to do that one anytime other than October because that one's in New Hampshire, and October will be like peak fall foliage with the colors. You see pictures of like Vermont, New Hampshire, just how the whole landscape is covered in like yellow, orange, red trees. I think that'll be really cool to time it right so that when I go there, it's peak fall. If I'm going that far and the mountain itself really isn't all that cool, might as well try to maximize how cool it could be. So that one will be in October. And then Mount Jefferson, this is one that I could see having to like push it off to 2025. We're talking Mount Jefferson in Oregon, not to be confused with Mount Jefferson in Nevada. The one in Oregon, it's volcano. It's really technical at the top. And the reason I want to wait until October, potentially late October, to do it is there's this snow ice traverse that you have to go across. It's like the main crux of the mountain. That one is one of the ones that I'm like more nervous about. And if I wait long enough for that snow patch to melt, I've heard that it's much easier to just traverse across the dirt and not have to deal with the snow and ice. Makes it much more safe, much less sketchy, and I'm hoping I can just do it that way. But if I wait, I'm basically risking that one. If I wait too long and then there's not a window where there's no snow on that section and it just snows a ton in October, then I might have to just do that one next year or 2025. So that one, hopefully late 2024, depending on conditions, might have to push that one to 2025. But that one would round out 2024. And then moving on to 2025, Glacier Peak would be in May. That's another Cascades volcano. May, that's volcano season, perfect for, climbing on glaciated volcanoes. And then that would be good training for Olympus. All of these ones are going to be really hard. Glacier Peak is like a 35 miler, and then Olympus is like a 50 miler in Olympic National Park. Hopefully, I can do that one in June. And then McDonald Peak would be next in July. That's in Montana. Another challenging one. Maybe not as challenging as Glacier and Olympus just because it's not as far, but it will be definitely challenging, definitely technical. That's by no means an easy one. And then if all that goes according to plan so far, that would mean that Mount Cleveland in Montana in Glacier National Park would be my last peak in August. That one's also like a 50 miler. So that's my plan. Pretty much a 0% chance that it actually works out that way. It never does. But if you don't have a plan, a goal without a plan is just a dream. So I got a goal of doing these peaks, and here's my plan to make it happen. Gonna have to adjust it, but one day hopefully we get it done. That's the goal. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I can get this done, and once I do, I'll be posting all about it. So stay tuned.